Today's video I want to take you along on some of our beautiful sunny dry season days. We call it summer, though it is winter up north. Now it is the middle of March, or it's winter or spring up north. But our dry season is a beautiful time in general, especially this year because it didn't get quite so dry and quite so hot. So I want to take you along a bit as I go about my days in this beautiful season. I also want to show you a little bit about how I do organizing, especially how I keep my children's personal items and their toys and storage stuff in reasonable order in a small little home. So if you're new here, my name is Melinda. I'm a mom of 4 young children. My husband and children and I, our family, we live in Costa Rica, and I love to share with other moms the things that I am learning. I invite you to come along with me for the day. This particular morning is a Thursday morning when I have a neighbor come in and clean the floor when we do our school. From about 8:30 to 11:30, we leave home and go down and do our homeschooling in the church building because our house hardly has enough room. And I have the tremendous blessing of someone coming in and cleaning the floors once a week, thoroughly cleaning them. So I wash the rugs on a Thursday morning before leaving. I should keep up with my floors better, but at least they get done very thoroughly once a week, though we do sweeping otherwise. I also want to show you on some days, like Saturdays or days when we don't do school, then here's a glimpse of some of the tasks we do on those mornings at home. This particular morning was another morning when we decided to wash all the toys and dolls and stuffed animals. And so we collected them from around the house and got them washed. Those are things that I really like to get done in dry season because things dry well then. In rainy season, well, sure, they need to be washed sometimes, but they just have a hard time getting dry. And now with all these beautiful days, it's a perfect time to tackle some of these extra projects and make sure they get done. I like to involve the children when I can, when I feel like I can handle it, in helping me to do things like that so that they can, this particular day, the girls were excited about helping because I had strung up some new wash lines that were in their reach, close to their little playhouse. And they were happy to be able to hang laundry there. Can't you see there on that glass that this is a home with little children and it was all smudged? I actually noticed that when digging the video, and so by the next load of laundry, then that front washer door was cleaned. Sunny boy likes to help with laundry. Living with children, working with children, it's something I've always wanted to do, but it isn't always easy. You might not be able to hear him, but you might see here at some places he got upset that he couldn't do things just the way he wanted to. And it requires patience to work with children. I'm not perfect at it, but I'm trying. And hopefully I can get there, get better at it every time. I am so blessed to have a front load washer. With my husband's job fixing things, then in the shop they had given him one of these and he got it fixed and we could have it, and it has served me well to use less water and to be able to wash all my laundry well without so much work. It's an incredible blessing. You'll be able to see here that Sunny Boy wasn't always happy, but maybe that can be an encouragement to you when you're working with your children. Won't always be perfect, but you can still try to. Sometimes we can't wait for them, but try to wait for them and let them help you, and someday they will be a big, big help once they can do it all themselves. This is also a simple reminder to you to enjoy your children. Try to take time for them. I'm certainly not perfect at this, but it does help them, and it helps us too to find joy in motherhood and in homemaking. So once everything was washed, the girls were excited to hang it out in their new wash lines. I remember my mom doing that for me too. Wash lines at their level, because usually I just hang the laundry and the lines are too high for them to reach, but with their doll things and with their little playhouse there that they've been playing with more lately, it can be really fun to give them some real work at their level. I remember when I was a little girl and my mom made a wash line one time. Now my girls somehow have more patience than I, because I wanted to bring the laundry in right away because it was so much fun to use it, hang it up and bring it in within a few minutes. But thankfully they knew to wait a couple hours. As you can see, now in dry season we have beautiful, sunny, breezy days. Actually, this year has been better than a lot of other years. Many years it has gotten by March, it has been too dry and dusty and I couldn't enjoy it. This year we had more rain and less wind, just nice breeziness. So many days have been so perfect and so enjoyable. It's been so fun to be out in the sun and the wind and have it not too hot and not too dusty and just about right. I want to take advantage now to show you a little bit about how I store toys. This is obviously now the same day again, that Thursday that I mentioned when I was cleaning up everything. Okay, so here I want to show you a little bit, just the basics of how I limit our toys and all that sort of stuff and our children's personal treasures. This dresser right here has a drawer for each of my 4 children. That is where they get to keep their personal toys, papers, trinkets, whatever they want. I don't really take care of what's in there. Once it gets too full, I help them reorganize it. I encourage them to get rid of the extras that they don't need so that they have room again. But that's how I limit their personal storage stuff that I don't want to take care of. I want to let them keep what is most special, but I don't want my whole house filled, because I assure you one of my daughters could fill the whole house if I let her. Each of the girls also has beside their bed in their room a shelf or 2 where they can keep a few pretty things out. Just a little bit of space for that, but otherwise it has to go there or in this drawer, and their clothes is in a separate little closet thing. And then here, this little stack of green drawers is where I keep all the crafting stuff, papers, glue, crayons, all that sort of stuff that also can become overabundant. It has to fit in here. Occasionally I can go through the drawer and get rid of extras, or just not buy more if it more than fills this, because I need to be able to maintain a reasonable amount of order in this house. It doesn't have to stay perfect, but it needs to be able to be manageable, especially for me mentally. And in this closet here is where all the toys and doll stuff and teddy bears is. So let me show you that. So here in this closet, I store what are toys and games and stuff like that. Down here in this toy box, I keep all the little random toys that aren't in like in a set, or for example, like here's a little backpack full of animals and there's different games and so on. The rule generally is if they want one of these, they have to clean it up before they get out another thing. And the doll stuff and teddy bears is all down here in that bottom place. So that is packed full. It's kind of dark so you can't see maybe, but you saw me cleaning up. You saw it was a lot. And if the girls want more than that, they have to get rid of something. They have a couple big dolls or teddy bears that can stay on their beds, but in general, it has to fit there and not more. Books, we keep in another bookshelf. You can see over here our books are kind of not fitting everywhere, so I like books, so I keep some here. But in general, that is the way we limit our toys. We store them and we get rid of extras if it's too much. So on this day that I was showing you, at about 11:30 we got back from our school morning, and so it was time to bring in the rugs. Like I mentioned, my floor was all cleaned. It's such a privilege I have to have someone trustworthy to clean while we're gone and to come back to a floor that is all clean. And then just to have to do my other work and my usual cleanup, because for some reason floor cleaning is one of my biggest stressors, especially trying to do it with little children around. Probably haven't learned perfection in motherhood yet. These days are so beautiful and breezy. I love to have the windows open some of the time and to just be able to enjoy the fresh air and the sunshine, especially when it's not too windy and not too dusty and not too hot. Noontime can get pretty warm, but here up on the mountains I always feel like we have such nice weather, and I'm so blessed. By the time we get home, I usually have to hurry and prepare lunch. I have tried to plan it the evening before at least and get the meat cooking or in the crock pot while we were at school. But then I try to quickly put it together for the children. And after lunch, it's a time for break and nap time. The girls usually do some of the dishes while Sunny Boy and I take a nap. I don't always sleep, but often enough I need to sleep a little bit, especially since I like to get up early in the morning. As you can see, dry season is lovely, but it does have some really dry places. And so it's about time to be getting ready for rain. This afternoon I had some cream in the freezer that I'd gotten out and working on making butter. I just love homemade butter. And so I try to always have on hand. We have the privilege of getting whole raw milk to our door twice a week. I save the cream in the freezer till I have enough to make some butter. And between times I was finishing cleaning up the kitchen, whatever needed yet from lunch that the girls hadn't managed.
Since rainy season is soon coming, in a couple of weeks, hopefully it will be starting, then we are trying to, in a few spare moments, get a few things ready for it to grow well. This is an avocado tree that I'm used to saying aguacate, but I know most of you would be used to avocado. So we're trying to get it a bit trimmed so that the hedge underneath can grow well, and so that it can grow well too, and hopefully soon bear some fruit, because it hasn't done that yet for us. The cream for making butter always starts getting thick, and so I have to always be careful with it because it can burn the blender if I just let it go till the cream all of a sudden, till the butter separates from the cream. And then I keep the buttermilk and separate the butter. I finished up cleaning up the kitchen and finished up the butter. Well, I just stuck it in the fridge for the moment. And then Thursdays is the day that we also have the vegetable truck come. So here I had already bought my fresh fruits and vegetables for the week and had to clean them up. I also had the same dear friend who cleans the floor come to help her with some schooling, since she didn't get very far when she was younger. And so after cleaning up my fresh fruits and vegetables, I helped her out with some math for a while. That happens about twice a week that I help her out. These fresh fruits and vegetables are such a blessing too. Melons and mangoes and my salad stuff and everything that I think we'll use for a week, knowing that next Thursday I can get it again. After I was finished teaching math class, then I cleaned up the buttermilk, which I just stuck in the fridge before. I stored in 2-cup packages in the freezer for when I make bread, because my bread recipe calls for milk, but I prefer not to use the usual milk, and we've never really noticed anything using buttermilk. I feel like that's a good way to use it up. But I store the extra in the freezer for other days when I need to make bread, when I won't be making butter. Today I also was planning to make bread, so I right away set aside the amount for the bread making. And then the last little bit got stored in the fridge for making pancakes or something like that at some moment. I need to bake bread about every week or two, and so that came next, mixing up a batch of bread to have on hand for the coming days. Something I always like to do. I still haven't gotten that far to be one of those virtuous women who makes their own sourdough bread. Hopefully I'll learn sourdough sometime, but for now, at least homemade bread that I can make most of the time, and we can have that on hand. The next thing up was washing the butter. I had also just stuck it in the fridge, but butter always needs to be washed to get the extra buttermilk out. I'd already washed most of it out here, you can see. Water comes out pretty clear by now, and that means that it is about clean. And then I finish separating the water and add some salt and just make sure that it's all squeezed out and mixed up. Next, I fill my cute heart-shaped butter molds with butter to have on hand and to just stick it in the freezer and get out a chunk whenever I need. I consider this my gold because I love butter so much. I don't use it for everything because we don't have that much, but for buttering bread and some basic things, it's just so yummy. Dry season is also an excellent time for yard work because in rainy season we often can't work outside in the afternoons. We are trying to start preparing the yard a little bit, a few things for when rainy season comes around. In a couple of weeks, hopefully it will start so that stuff can grow well. This hedge is kind of scraggly, so I started to trim it, but I realized soon that it was a little bit too hard on my arm. It hurt a bit too much. And so I decided to leave it for another day or to leave it for my husband to do some time. These afternoons are also perfect for going on walks with the children. Most afternoons of dry season I try to, at some point, go out on a walk, or they take their bikes, or we simply go through our coffee field across the road to go on a little walk and enjoy the outdoors. By late afternoon, it's not so hot anymore. And it's just about perfect. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you have been inspired to find the beauty around you in whatever season of life you are in, wherever you live, and that you've been able to enjoy a little glimpse into my days of dry season.